So this is the first video. She's arrived this morning. I haven't done anything yet. So you're seeing her exactly as she arrived. We'll start quickly on the outside. The only real welding work that I'm going to have to do is these wheel arches. Still really solid, but on this side at least. There's a little corner here, and then it's the bottom of the doors. Which are actually pretty solid, but I'm going to get patches, repair pieces for that, do some welding. It's the same on both sides, so not bad at all. As you can see, the rest of the bodywork is very clean. Once I get the bumper off, I'll be able to see the bottom edge. But here, same story. So it's just the wheel arch and the bottom of the door. There's some stuff in here which I need to sand and see how bad it is. Maybe a spot more welding there, but there's not much. Carry on the outside. There's some kind of homemade sun visor up there, which I'll investigate. There's some extra lights on it. Broken corner. But the actual caravan box on the back is not bad. The windows aren't even bad. It actually does have a tow bar. I remembered it didn't have a tow bar, so I'm pleased about that. Bit of a tree got caught on the way. So that's the outside. Let's have a look inside. Now I apologise for the shaky camera work, but because this is a tour of the van, it's really unavoidable. I am using a gimbal to try and make it a bit easier to watch. I've checked the locks on both sides, they both work. Now under here, it's surprisingly good. And the bottom of the inside of the door has at some point been welded, but I'll be getting a proper repair patch for that and welding it in. But I'm obviously going to have to get new door seals as well. These are rubbish. But this is the layout inside. Now this handle up here is quite nice when you're getting in, but this whole box thing, I'm not sure why that's been put in there. At first I thought it was maybe because they didn't have the original engine cover, but then I found I can actually see in this side of it, and the engine cover is there, so I don't know why they've built that big box. This is the dash. I'm going to need some help from 508D owners on what all these buttons do, if they're even original. I think from what I've seen, obviously ignition, start button and idle control, but I'm wondering about this. Is it like glow plugs, or am I being so naive about the vehicle? I don't even know. I don't know. One of the first things I'm going to be doing is getting rid of that vase of plastic flowers. I'm amazed that it's still there. I thought maybe it was stuck down, but no. Anyway, that's gonna go. A lot of tidying up to do, a lot of cleaning up to do. I think that seat It's probably going to have to get changed. I would like to get something on a swivel. I'm not sure if that's possible, but there's no seat belts. Now I don't know what the rules are on that now, but we're going to find out. But here's the inside, and it's quite a strange layout. So we've got horrible green cushions on that little sofa bed, or sofa. There's obviously storage under there. Now these side windows do open. Oh, there's enough light. These horrible curtains, little curtain things, are going to have to go. This one's got an equally horrible blind behind it. Shelf above. It's a little kitchen area. Now, one thing I should explain about this whole box, this whole caravan on the back. There is a question mark whether I'm going to keep any of it. There's a possibility that I might just lift this whole caravan off the back and build something from scratch, but we'll see. I mean, it's about a 10% chance, because at the moment this is all looking good. There's no water damage visible, but this was stored for 27 years under a roof. It was the building was open one side, but in 27 years it stayed dry, and there's no smell of mold or anything, which I'm really surprised about. So maybe I'll keep this whole caravan. We'll see. Storage cupboards all the way around the top, at the back. And this is obviously a three-sided sofa, storage underneath everywhere, and a table which I'm told drops down to the same level as the benches to make a bed. I haven't investigated that yet. I'm not sure, is the table even bolted down? No, but it looks like there's a bolting system down there. Over this side there is this thing, haven't investigated. Cassette player, that will be going. I have to find out what all this stuff is. No idea yet. It says on off 2000 watts? No idea. So one of the first things I'm going to have to do obviously is check all these cupboards. There's various stuff. There's candles. There's like an extraction fan here, so they've obviously had some kind of hot plate just loose down here. Okay, there's still dishes and everything in here. Right, so I'm going to have to bring out a couple of big boxes, empty all this stuff. Yep. Oh yeah. There's a retro coffee maker, which might even be old enough so I could actually sell that as a retro coffee maker, and someone might like it if it works. Maybe I'll check. Now there is a sink. I haven't investigated any of this, so don't know how that's supposed to work, but I did notice that in this cupboard down here, right down at floor level, amongst the rat crap, there's these little pedals. So I think that pedal is for the night to turn the water on, maybe. Okay, on the other side we have a retro fridge. It's got a little latch here. Amazing that people liked this colour as a fridge, but we'll see. It's not actually in bad shape, it just needs a clean, and if that works, depending on what voltage it's on, I'm sure it's not a gas one, because over here it has, the switch says 12 volt. Okay, well, if it works then I might be keeping that. There is cupboard, literally a storage cupboard. Some rags. And down here we get to some of the technical stuff. Looks like they have a hookup for a 240 volt, because that's just standard 240 volt box. A couple of fuses there, junction box, and down on the floor that looks like a battery charger. But I have to find out what all this stuff is and design my own system. Now this is, strangely, another little cubby hole with another little sink. Now down under there, I don't know if you can see, there are these radiators, which I suspect probably go all the way around the whole exterior line of the whole van. So it's obviously taking water from the engine and running it through those radiators. So I might keep that if it works, but that's a way off. And interestingly, underneath this sink, if you can see, there's another one of these little pedals. Now, here's the really weird bit, or a couple of really weird bits. Above the cab is this fold down bed. It's obviously been homemade. This, you pull this pin out here on both sides and it drops down. I can show that later, but this is really weird. So I'll move these. There's this bench seat, fold down bench seat. Okay, but this is a door. Now I'll show you from back here. So I'm going back into the van. That closes off the whole cab. And what I suspect, when I was viewing this, the guy said something about they had a chemical toilet in here, which would explain why there's the little hand washing sink. But from the other side, obviously, that bench comes with. So, let me show you what's going on. You've got passenger seats. Now I think it's highly unlikely that's going to get through any inspection here. But I've got absolutely no idea what I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of. Do I get rid of that whole door and bench? I mean, it would be nice to have some kind of passenger space for passengers. And no seat belts. So I've never seen anyone with that kind of a system, but maybe I could take off half of this door so that it closes and has a single fold down seat, and then there's always room to walk through here. I don't know. In a way, I'd like to certainly get rid of this plexiglass, but get rid of the whole, effectively a bulkhead, but the separation between the cab and the rest of the van. We will see. Anyway, it's a blank canvas. The back wheels are completely seized, as you'll see in this little bit of video of when it got offloaded. So that's one of the things I'm going to have to address. The engine has not been started. This Mercedes has been sitting in storage for 27 years. The engine looks pretty good. Hoses seem fine. And I've had some people commenting that when I asked for advice on how do I get it home, people are just saying stick some batteries in and start her up. But what I decided to do was get it transported here without starting her, so that I can put in fresh diesel, new fuel filters, change the oil, do all that kind of stuff, check that the fuel pump is actually got moving parts in it, because they can seize up, and then I'll try starting it. Now I'm obviously impatient. It would be lovely to have for the end of this first video to have starting up after 27 years, but I want to do it right. So I haven't even ordered the filters yet, because I wanted to actually have the van here, so that I can, as I'm ordering the parts, check that they are definitely the right parts for the engine, because so many times in the past I've ordered stuff for vehicles and then you get the parts and then they don't match. So I'm going to do this properly, one step at a time. And I thought that was going to be kind of the first stuff I need to get done, is get the engine running, but with the back brakes seized, I need to address that. Now one idea I've got, if you look inside at the floor level and outside, you'll see that from here down is empty space. Now there is one little locker there for storage on this side. I don't believe there's even anything on the other side below floor level, which to me seems like a huge waste of space. So I either turn that all into storage, or what I'm leaning towards is to actually get rid of everything below that line, open it up. It's going to mean access for fixing everything, for repainting the frame, all that stuff, working on the back wheels and brakes. It's all going to be much easier, and I think that doing that would give the whole vehicle, so everything below that line gone, would give this more of an expedition vehicle look than a caravan look. Now obviously I'm not going to waste all that storage space, but I could put boxes, like drawers, big drawers that can come out, and make plates for bolting spare wheels on under there. I think that might be a much nicer look. It's a bit difficult at the back. At the moment this is a door that opens, so I would be cutting it off there, but that's not a big deal. I have to think. But yeah, I think I might prefer the look without that whole bottom section. Okay.